In this video I'm going to talk about two ways we charge the car, and also I'm going to explain how I was able to go from the passion and love for solar to electric car, and also I'm going to tell you about an exciting road trip that Hannah and I are going on tomorrow morning. Now is the right time to click on that subscribe button. Yes, it's free. And on the bell notification if you would like to know more and if you would like to follow our road trip to Sydney and back. Firstly, let me explain the solar setup and how and especially why I got electric car to maximize energy and to use it efficiently. It was in 2012 when Hannah and I moved to this house, and it had existing 1 kilowatt solar system that was 6 panels, 195 watt each. And then I learned a lot, and I started my interest in solar and renewable energies. So for the 5 following years I've been expanding solar system from that small 1 kilowatt system to significant amount of solar panels. We have been on battery storage since 2014, and that has been an amazing learning curve for me to be able to see how this solar system performs and the potential of harnessing solar for energy. I'm going to briefly mention 4 separate systems that we have here with batteries and solar. The largest is behind me, and this is the solar system that generates electricity for the house, for charging the car and all the appliances. So we are technically off the grid, but we are also off the grid generating and basically selling electricity for others. So this is a system here, a solar charge controller, off-grid inverter. This is a 4 kilowatt off-grid inverter, a couple of switches and circuit breakers here. And here, let's say currently, let me have a look here. So state of charge, temperature. So currently we are at 220 amp hour. This battery storage is 15 kilowatt hours. Originally it was 13.5, same as Tesla Powerwall, but company actually pack more density into the same packaging, so they are able to constantly increase the amp hours. These 2 batteries are now 300 amp hour, and those back ones are 330. So technically it's now 15 kilowatt hours, and we are currently at 220 amp hour from 330 all up, or 315 average. And here we have state of charge 66%. Now today is overcast, so it's not the best solar day. There's scattered clouds. So normally these batteries, home batteries, are full by about 10 o'clock, and then that's when I start charging the car and basically turn on the car charger. Because I don't drive much, I don't drive every day, I still spend more time on a motorcycle than in the car. This is sufficient, so I basically charge with 10 amp power point normally. Today is a bit different, and I'll explain in a minute. There is also a high power wall connector that I only use before road trips, so I don't have to kind of rush, and because we've been driving a bit this week as well, I need a quick top up before we leave tomorrow morning. This is the very first off-grid system that I installed here, even before the main one. This is to power the lights in this workshop. It's the workshop that I've built using sourcing recycled materials, floorboards, offcuts, windows from old school in Wynnum, also these doors. And basically 80% of these materials are recycled and salvaged from demolition places. And I love this workshop. It's a half circle. I'll just quickly show you. And what I'm basically powering here is I have 6 LED lights all around. So this is my workspace here. I love motorbikes and scooters, so that's where I spend time on them. And this is the system that actually currently is running with the spare battery that I have, gel battery, but originally I had 4 old car batteries that were not sufficient to start the car, but they were perfect here for these LED lights. And just recently I put this battery in here because it was a spare one, and the other car batteries were about 5 years old, so I had to kind of recycle them. So this is a simple 12-volt system. I have a couple of USB chargers here. People who come and see me about the bikes and scooters, they can charge their phones here. And yes, so as I mentioned, this is a LED system here. 3 lights out here and 3 LED lights inside to have this totally independent system. This was for me mainly to learn. It was very inexpensive, just a small 20-watt solar panel there that comes to this small charge controller, $10 on eBay, some wires, and this battery that is a bit of an overkill at the moment. It's 280 amp hour, but as I said, it was a spare one that I had, so it's currently here. So the next system is the side gate, and because I love riding motorcycles, I didn't want to get off, open the gate, get on the bike and close the gate and open, so too much hassle. So I thought I would make this gate totally independent. It's running off 2 20-watt solar panels. It's a 24-volt system. It has a gate opener. So here is the electric motor, the door controller, and that's the box housing the 2 12-volt batteries, small 7 amp hour. There is a charge controller, solar charge controller there, so that's to protect it from the weather. This is how it works. So basically I'm on a bike, I'll just press the button on the remote in my pocket. And keep going. So that's my little solar, another independent solar system. The next independent off-grid system is this light, like a garden light. It's a powerful LED light that sits in the middle of that banana circle there, and it creates this beautiful mood, if you like. The light, LED light, bright LED, when it reflects off the green banana leaves, it's just beautiful, just for fun, like a decoration in the garden. And it's powered by old motorcycle battery, and I have access to all sorts of used motorcycle batteries. I've been passionate about motorcycles and scooters since I was 10 years old, and I work on them quite a bit. So this is old battery and charge controller and a timer. So this basically turns on these lights at about 6 o'clock, and it turns off at 10 o'clock. It's fully programmable, so even every day of the week can be different settings, different times. And there is a solar panel on the roof, which is a 20 watt, so this battery keeps being recharged and topped up every day. Simple, inexpensive system that creates a beautiful thing in the garden. The banana circles that gets illuminated beautifully, and there is the light, LED light. It's kind of a set and forget. It was 4 independent off-grid systems, and now we are here at the grid-tied system. So this is the original inverter that was here, 1 kilowatt system, and since the beginning this little system has generated 19,448 kilowatt hours of clean green electricity. This is 1 kilowatt, and this one here, which has been here since 2012, this is all Sunny Boy products, so SB, Sunny Boy, German technology, and this one here has generated since 2012 58,000 or 58 megawatt hours of electricity. So these two have generated 60 and 20, so 80 megawatt hours of clean green electricity. There is 18.9 kilowatts worth of solar panels here. 6.5 kilowatts of those are purely for off-grid system, for the batteries, for the home battery storage, and the rest is feeding the grid with the clean, renewable electricity. I've added solar panels to the east and west, so there is not just panels facing north or northwest to maximize the peak. And what happens here, if I tap it, so basically this is the average past month, and by adding panels to the east and to the west, basically I'm getting peak period right from the bottom, and peak times are longer. So this is the previous day, where you can see that the peak is only showing like kind of not showing morning. The peak could be easily 4 to 5 hours, and then as you can see it comes up. Today is a bit overcast, so it's not going all the way to the peak, but basically by having panels east and west, I'm adding more production in the morning and in the afternoon, and then it quickly drops off in the afternoon by having more panels connected to the inverter. These are the panels just on the workshop that I have built, so I basically created extra roof space for more solar panels. This is basically the backyard here, only the back section, and that little panel there is the panel that powers the lights here in this workshop area, so 6 LED lights with the battery. So it is possible to be energy positive. It is possible to power your household with pure solar electricity with large battery storage, if you do it wisely, of course. It's 2 of us here. If it was 5 or 6 family members in the household, of course you would need more battery storage, especially for winter. In summer it's much easier, of course. So this is the solar setup that I'm sharing, and I'm telling you only because if more people go solar, if more people do this, if more people buy battery storage, it's easier for all of us. And unfortunately, for now, it's not easy for those who are renting and living in apartments, that those people will have to swallow the higher electricity prices that continue rising. Option would be to move to a townhouse or a house where you have control over your roof space, and you can decide to put in solar panels and solar systems that are amazingly decreasing in price, especially over the last 5 years. And that's the same thing we are going to see with electric cars, dropping in prices because the volumes are increasing. Yes, I did name my car Nikola Tesla, as you can see behind me, because this guy deserves big credit for what he has done. And if his wisdom and knowledge was implemented, we would all be enjoying free electricity as much as we are enjoying free wireless internet these days. But that's on another topic. If you haven't heard much about this guy, I suggest you go and research his work. So here is the bike I mentioned. I still spend more time on this than in a car. I'm looking for an electric replacement. If I can find something like this that has off-road capabilities and is fully electric, then I'll be very happy. This bike has now done 125,000 kilometers, so I hope it will last until I find a replacement in battery electric. Now, those 2 ways we charge the car here is on a good solar days, by the 10 o'clock, the house batteries are full. That's when I'm starting charging this. This is a universal mobile connector, so it's 10 amp. It adds 10 kilometers of range per hour of charging into the car. But as you can see now, it's disconnected because I'm using the second option we have here, which is high power wall connector. It's a 32 amp single phase in this case. Good on you guys if you do have 3-phase available at your place. So this one here is a 32 amp single phase, and it puts in about 35 kilometers of range per hour of charging. And because we have been driving a lot this week and I need a quick top up just to get to Supercharger in Chrome Academia Castle. Now let's talk about the road trip. So we are currently charging at 32 amp, 33 kilometers per hour. So tomorrow morning I plan to leave at 5 o'clock to avoid Monday morning traffic, which may be a bit colossal being in Brisbane and it's Monday morning, everybody will be rushing to work. So this is the plan, to leave at 5 o'clock, and we will not be stopping at Brisbane, we'll be stopping in Knockrow, which is 190 kilometers from here. So all I will need is about 250 kilometers of range, so another 110 kilometers to get to Knockrow with about 20%. It's better to time your trip, because there is no point staying at those superchargers till you are at 90% or full, because it's way quicker if you get to a destination, or supercharger in this case, with less energy in the battery, so you speed up your charging time. And as this Tesla navigation is telling us, we would only need, at the moment as we are at 140 kilometers, we would only need a top up for 25 minutes in Brisbane, for 40 minutes at Knockrow, Coffs Harbour. This is all live, so it keeps changing as the battery is getting more juice into it. 40 minutes, Hertebray. But what we'll do, we are not that fast drivers, or we are on holidays every time we drive this car, so we'll be staying overnight somewhere at Half Point, which in this case may be Port Macquarie. And here we go. So we would get to Port Macquarie. It's a 557 kilometers, so 6.5 hours. If you are on the market for your new Tesla Model 3, Model S or Model X, feel free to use our referral code, which I'm posting below this video, and also you can see it on the screen here. It's RADO5406, and Tesla will give you 7,500 kilometers worth of free supercharging if you order before 28th of May, and then after 28th of May it will revert back to 1,500 kilometers. That will come as a gift for you to enjoy for road trips. Thank you for watching, guys. Feel free to share, subscribe and like if you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.